Hey learners, how are you all? I hope that you all are doing great. My name is Patel and I welcome all of you to a new video, or we can say the first video of the Power Automate series. Now this video is very special because this is the first video of our Power Automate in Dynamics 365 series. And today in this video we are going to start, or we can say kick off, the journey of learning the use of Power Automate in Dynamics 365. So this video is going to be very exciting because in this video we are going to understand the basics of Power Automate, and I'm also going to discuss about what will be coming next in the upcoming videos. So make sure that you watch this video till the very end because I am going to reveal a lot of things by the end of this video, right? So when we talk about Power Automate, let's start from the theory first. I'm not going to perform any practical today because this is a very fundamental video. So make sure that you understand the basics of it and theory of it today, right? So let's understand that what is a Power Automate. Power Automate is a low-code automation tool provided by Microsoft that allows us to automate business processes across different applications and services. When we talk about Power Automate, we can say that it is something which includes little to no code, and it is provided by Microsoft, which basically allows us to automate the business processes, right? So this is what the basic definition of Power Automate is. If I have to give you the examples, you can think of it like this. When a case is created, you want to send an email, let's say, right? When a record is updated, you want to create a task. When a document is uploaded, you want to notify the case owner, right? When a lead is qualified, you want to update the related records of the lead. All of these things could be done with the help of the Power Automate. And these are some of the very basic examples, I would say, right? You can do a lot more things with Power Automate, and we are going to discuss about all those things in the upcoming videos. Simple terms, if we have to use simple terms in order to explain the Power Automate, we can say that if something happens, then do something automatically, right? So you basically define different triggers, and then you define different actions in which you mention that what exactly you want to update or what kind of operation you want to perform in the Power Automate. And the best part is you can build all this without writing heavy code. Now this is one of the most exciting parts, especially for the functional consultants, because they don't like to write the code. In fact, they don't do writing code. They only like to work with the flows, right? So Power Automate is best for those who do not like to write the heavy code and they want to automate business processes just by defining different kind of actions and steps. Now, why Power Automate is important for Dynamics 365 CRM? Now, this is a very important question which we have to understand, because see, if we talk about the application of Power Automate, it can be used at so many different places. It's not only the Dynamics 365 CRM. You can use it in different places because there are various connectors using which you can automate the processes using Power Automate. So it's not only limited to the Dynamics 365 CRM. It is much more than that. But since we are focusing mainly on the Dynamics 365 CRM, we will be understanding that why Power Automate is important for it, right? So Dynamics 365 CRM is all about processes, sales processes, service processes, approvals, follow-ups, and notifications. So those who have been already working on Dynamics 365 CRM, they know that it includes a lot of processes, right? It includes a lot of model-driven applications in which we want to automate the processes. Earlier, we mainly used the classic workflows, plugins, and JavaScript, but today Power Automate is the preferred tool for most asynchronous and integration-based automations. Now, this is very important for the interview. If they ask you like, for what kind of operations do we require the Power Automate, and what kind of operations, in what kind of scenarios we can use the Power Automate, right? So it is mostly used for the asynchronous operations and the integration-based automations. What are the key benefits of it? First, it is low code or no code. This is what you have to remember. It is very easy to maintain because you can easily go and update the Power Automate in few minutes. It does not require much time, and it's very easy to maintain as well. It works perfectly with Dataverse. Now, Dataverse is something on which our entire Dynamics 365 CRM is built upon, our Power Platform is built upon, right? It supports hundreds of connectors, and it is very powerful for integrations. So basically, when you want to integrate your CRM, your Dynamics 365 CRM with other sites, like let's say SharePoint site, you can easily do that thing with the help of the Power Automate flow, and it actually allows you to do this thing very smoothly, that most of the developers prefer Power Automate when they have to perform the integration operations, right? Now, where Power Automate fits in the Power Platform. So Power Automate is a part of the Microsoft Power Platform, which includes Power Apps, Power BI, Power Pages, and Dataverse, right? So it is basically the part of the Microsoft Power Platform, and these are like these four different things are definitely the part of it, of the Microsoft Power Platform, right? Now all these tools work together, and Dataverse is the backbone when we talk about Dynamics 365 CRM. So if anyone asks you like on which database the Dynamics 365 CRM is built upon, the answer is Dataverse. Now here is a very important difference, right, between the Power Automate workflow and the plugin. When we talk about the workflow, they are very old and classic, and they do have very limited capabilities, and they're slowly being phased out. If you go on to creating a classic workflow, by the way, we have already created a video upon the workflows. If you have not watched it, I would recommend you to watch it and then, watch this video, because it would make a lot of things clear in your mind. So when you were like, but still I want to mention one thing, like when you're creating a classic workflow, you would have saw one thing, that Microsoft itself recommends you to use the modern workflows. Now what are the modern flows? These modern flows are nothing but the Power Automate flows. So the Microsoft itself recommends you, when you're trying to create a workflow, that instead of creating a workflow, create a Power Automate flow, right? Then let's talk about the plugin. Plugin is code based, right? It includes writing a C# code, and it is best for complex logic and synchronous and performance critical scenarios. So you mainly use the plugins when you have the synchronous operations, because we have the option of pre-validation and pre-operation, and you can register a plugin as synchronous or asynchronous, and at the same point in time, it is best for the complex logic. So with the help of the Power Automate, you definitely can perform the complex operations, but still it's much more difficult to apply all the complex logic together in a single Power Automate, while it is possible to do in the case of plugin, where you can include a lot of different complex logics into the single code. So that is possible in the case of plugin, but it's not possible in the case of Power Automate. Sometimes you might have to create multiple flows in order to serve a single functionality, or let's say a single business requirement. So that's why I would still say that plugin is much more powerful than Power Automate. Now Power Automate has a very big advantage, by the way, that it is low code, right? It is best for async operations, and it is best for integrations, notifications, and background automation. So let's say whenever you get this type of requirement that you want to show the in-app notifications in your CRM, I would suggest you to use the Power Automate flows, because it has so many built-in features which you can directly utilize for these operations, right? Now, when you should use Power Automate, this is a very important question, right? I have already mentioned that when the operation is asynchronous and when you have to perform the integration related tasks, you should go with the option of Power Automate, because it definitely provides you a lot of options. But here you can see the list that use Power Automate when you want background automation. It means asynchronous operation. You want to integrate CRM with Outlook, Teams, SharePoint, Excel. So these are different platforms with which, if you want to integrate your CRM, you can use the Power Automate, because it by default provides you a lot of connectors. You want notifications or emails, you can easily do that thing with the help of the Power Automate. You don't need immediate response on the UI, because it runs in the background. So let's say if you want an immediate change on the UI as soon as you perform the operation, which triggers the step which will perform the operation, you should go with the Power Automate, right? Now you want easy maintainability. So these are some of the different requirements, or we can say use cases, during which you can use the Power Automate flow. Now let's talk about the important part, that what you are going to learn in this playlist, right? So we are creating this playlist. In this complete playlist, we will cover Dataverse triggers and actions, conditions and expressions very important when you're building a Power Automate. And I think it is only the complicated part. If you understand this thing clearly, it would be easier for you to at least create the Power Automate flows for your, or we can say inside your CRM, right? If you're not performing any kind of integration, then I think understanding conditions and expressions would allow you to perform operations at least in the CRM. Working with related records, this is very important. Email, Teams, and notifications, we will also explore this part. Error handling, so we will be creating a video upon error handling in Power Automate, because see, as you create a code, in code also we perform if checks, right? If else checks, in order to make sure that our code does not get does not get errors while running, and it does not create bugs while running. So we always try to make sure that we use the try catch blocks in our code. In the similar way, our Power Automate can fail, right, if it does not satisfies the condition or if it is not built properly. So that's why it is very important to understand that in the case of Power Automate also, you should have to be doing a proper error handling. So we will be creating a separate video upon error handling as well, right? Then real world CRM automation scenarios, we will be covering that. And finally, we will have a session upon Power Automate versus plugin decision making, that in what scenarios you should have to be using a Power Automate flow and in what scenarios you should have to be using the plugins. So we will be having a video upon that as well. All right, so this is going to be the content of our upcoming videos, where we'll start from the very basics and then slowly, steadily we will be moving forward to the advanced topics. Now what I require from your end is your support, because in order to make sure that I put out the best content, it is important for me to have the enough motivation to create these videos, right? And that could only happen if I get sufficient support from your end. So if you are curious about learning this thing, and if you are curious about exploring this topic, I am sure that you are going to support me, right? So I am definitely expecting that. Now in this video, we are not going to create any Power Automate flow, but I'm just going to show you that how you can create one, right? So as you can see here, I'm going to go in my solution, and then as you can see this option of cloud flows, I'm going to click on that. So here you can create a cloud flow. I'm going to click on new, then you have to go on here automation, then cloud flow. And as you can see, we have three different options of creating a Power Automate flow: automated, instant, and scheduled. Now what are these three different types? I'm going to discuss about them in the upcoming videos when we will be having practical sessions upon it. But for now, I'm just showing you the automated one because this is the one which we are going to use the most, right? So let's click on that. And as you can see here, you can just define the name of your flow, and then from here you can select the different triggers which are available, right? So I was talking about one topic which was Dataverse triggers and actions. So this is what we call as the trigger, because trigger will basically be the point through which your Power Automate will be triggered, right? For example, in the case of plugin, we talked about the operations, right? Update operation, create operation. In the similar way, here we provide the triggers, like when a new response is submitted. And in the case of CRM, we can write when a row is added or modified. So this is the trigger. So let's say we are creating one. So this is how the trigger looks like. You can just define the change type of it from the multiple change types which you have, and then you have to select the name of the table, that on which table when this trigger will get performed your operation should get continued. Then you have to define the scope, whether it is at the organization level or at the user level, right? So you can select the scope from here. Okay, it requires the parameters like this. Let me just select cases for now, and let's select the change type as added. So you will get different scope options: business unit, organization, parent, business unit, user. Just like in the case of workflow, right? In the case of workflow also, I had shown you that there are different scopes, but most of the times we'll be selecting organization. So let's select that one, and from here you can filter out the column, which means that when creating a new record of a case, if a particular field contains value, only in that case this flow should get triggered. This is what you can select. So enter a comma separated list of column unique names. Okay, the flow triggers if, let me just hover down if you can see. Yes, the flow triggers if any of them are modified. It means if any of those rows, columns or rows or fields are modified, then in that case the Power Automate flow will trigger. Okay, so this is the basic of it. You can go ahead and see the advanced options, right? There is filter rows for filtering out the rows, and then delay until and run as. So these are the different options, but we often do not interact with them. Okay, these are the 4 which we often work with, so we are going to mainly talk about them. All right, so this is how you can define the trigger, and based on that you can just define the actions, right? So we are not going to talk about the actions in this particular video because I want to keep it very basic, and I hope that you have got the gist of it, that what exactly Power Automate flow is, and at least you have been able to understand the basic definition of it. That's what I want, and this is the content which we are going to cover in the upcoming videos. All right, so thank you so much for watching this video till the very end. I hope you all the best, and please make sure to like this video if you really liked it. Share it with your friends who are working on Power Automate, and let's say if they want to work upon it. And yeah, thank you so much. Bye.